13, the Masons, Illuminati, Royal Order of Jesters, Skull and Bones, and the Gates and Rockefeller Foundation. Hey, New World Order! We're coming for you, never forgot 9/11, and we studied your moves. We got your blueprints down, now you're bound to lose. And look us in the eyes when we tighten that noose. Snap, America's coming back for vengeance. Pushed us to the fences, this time's offensive. Snake strikes defensive, so tread on that. Our people went off course, we led them back. So united we stand, divided they fall. Just a torso, no legs and arms. Heads on spikes, all global is gone. It's either that or enslaved with a chip in our arm.
This story didn't start in our lifetime. It didn't start with World War II, but that's where we'll pick it up. By then, the architecture was already forming. International banks, secret societies, and a growing appetite for global control. One man stood at the intersection of finance and betrayal. Prescott Bush, a banker, a senator, and the patriarch of a dynasty. He was caught financing Hitler through Union Banking Corporation. The U.S. government seized the firm's assets under the Trading with the Enemy Act. But Prescott Bush wasn't punished. He was promoted to the United States Senate. After the war, instead of dismantling the Nazi network, we imported it. Nazi collaborators were brought into the United States to help the CIA, the NSA, and the foundations of the permanent state. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy tried to challenge that growing machine. He pushed back on the CIA, central banks, and endless war. He was shot in the head, in public, in broad daylight. A declassified memo dated days later refers to George Bush of the CIA, not proof of involvement, but an undeniable presence in Texas, in the shadows of one of America's darkest hours. Lyndon Johnson took power. His policies pleased the military-industrial complex. Vietnam exploded, surveillance expanded, and the permanent state dug in. In 1980, Ronald Reagan wasn't supposed to win. The system backed George H.W. Bush. Reagan beat them. But under pressure from elite families, Reagan took Bush as his vice president, reportedly against his own instincts. 69 days into office, Reagan was shot. The gunman, John Hinckley Jr., his brother, scheduled to dine with Neil Bush the very next day. Coincidence? Perhaps. But once again, the Bush name hovers near the trigger. Reagan survived, but the Bush's influence grew. And in 1991, George H.W. Bush said it out loud. What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order. A world beyond borders, beyond constitutions, not ruled by voters, but by unaccountable institutions. Then came the successors, Clinton, Bush Jr., Obama, Biden. Different parties, same agenda. Trade deals that gutted the middle class, open borders, endless wars, digital surveillance, national sovereignty dismantled by design. They didn't serve America, they served the New World Order. And then came Donald J. Trump. For the first time in decades, a president stood for borders, for energy independence, for America first. He became a threat to everything they built, so they attacked him from every angle. Fabricated scandals, 2 impeachments, leaked lies, weaponized intelligence, and still, he survived. Then came 2020, COVID panic, mail-in ballots, courts that refused to hear the case, and suddenly, Biden wins. What followed wasn't a presidency, it was a managed decline, signed by AutoPen, driven by committee, fronted by a man in obvious collapse. In 2024, Trump returned, and just like Kennedy, just like Reagan, they shot him. A bullet to the head, he survived. 3 American presidents stood publicly against globalism. Kennedy, Reagan, Trump, all 3 were shot. Coincidence? Perhaps. But history is rarely that kind. And now, here we are. The illusion is dying, the control is slipping, the people are awakening. The Democratic Party is at its lowest approval in history. Their lies exposed, their crimes unraveling. And what once was mocked as conspiracy is now being read into the record. For generations, they planned a future without freedom, but that future is failing. The New World Order is being defeated, and 1776 is returning. My friends, we are all anonymous. We remember the fallen. We speak for the voiceless. And we are not afraid of the truth.
Welcome to the revolution. We are here at the America First Warehouse. My name is James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve?
Fighting!
Every day, all day long, man. So, yeah, hope you're having a good beginning of the week. Everybody, share this feed out. Get it out. We're shadow banned, so we got to beat these algorithms. Make sure you hit that share button and send this thing to the moon, because you're not going to get a podcast like this anywhere, absolutely anywhere. So now that you guys are up to speed on everything that's going on, you know, I hope it brings a little clarity to everybody, because that's where we're at. So we are in the middle of a fight and a battle. We have a physical battle going on, and we have a spiritual battle going on, and we're here to make sense of it all. So what's going on, brother?
Chilling. How you doing, bro?
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. A lot of big things going on. One of the recent things was Texas. You see the thing with Texas with Governor Abbott?
No.
All right, so Governor Abbott got sick and tired of the Democrats, and the Democrats said that they were going to up and take off and go block some immigration thing they had going on. So he said, all right, you want to go do that? Go ahead. And issued warrants for their arrest if they don't report back and do their job. So apparently they have some of the people have warrants for their arrest, but it only takes place in Texas. So if they step foot in Texas, instant handcuffs. Wow,
I think that he should focus also on undoing the gerrymandering that got them in office to begin with, because in watching Owen Schroyer, they're all gerrymandered over there to even get the Democrats in office at all.
Yeah, they want to redraw the districts and the congressional maps.
They should.
The Democrats are having a little tissy over it, because they don't want that to happen, because they'll lose power. And I think they're trying to do the same with New York now, which is awesome, man. Split New York City into a spot of itself, and then give upstate New York their points, and then give us our points on Long Island. Right? Congressional districts.
I don't know how they would go about doing whatever they would do, but something needs to be done.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
The whole thing is rigged.
Yeah. And then you hear about the whole Russia collusion hoax investigation whole thing with Obama. So
yeah, I heard about it.
All the key players that are in there now have recommendations for indictments. So they have dates, right? So check this out. This is the best. So the Oversight Committee has issued subpoenas, and I'm going to run through the dates real quick. So we have former Secretary Hillary Clinton. She's got to appear on October 9th. Then we got former President Bill Clinton. He's got to show up on the 14th. Then we have former U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, October 2nd. Former FBI Director James Comey, October 7th. Former U.S. Attorney General William Barr, August 18th. Former U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzales, August 26th. Former U.S. General Jeff Sessions, August 28th, former FBI Director Robert Mueller, September 2nd. We have the former U.S. District Attorney General Loretta Lynch, September 9th. Former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, September 30th. And, so we're going to pull them into Congress. We're going to start grilling them with questions. I'm sure they're going to plead the fifth to a lot of it, because, they don't ever want to give up answers. But once we start slapping the documents on the table that we discovered, I think it's going to be case closed for these guys. And, they got grand juries that they're selecting right now, and these guys are screwed.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see if justice prevails.
Yeah, I mean, they've been promising justice for a long time, so we'll see what happens, And then we have the New York City mayor race going on. It's pretty crazy. So somebody that I came across David Zier from Real America's Voice, and man, this guy was putting the business down on Mondami.
Oh, yeah? What do you have to say?
Check this out. Let's play this clip. Shout out to David Zier.
Break this down for us. What do you make of all of this?
Well, listen, Mamdani meets with the police officer's family yesterday for breakfast, and now he's pandering to voters. In addition to that statement, though, he's backpedaling. He's blue-washing his anti-cop history. Can I read you some quotes from his past?
Absolutely, yeah. Lay it on us, David.
Well, listen, December 2020 said the NYPD, wicked and corrupt. There's no hope of reforming it. The only solution is to defund it, dismantle it. June 2020, we don't need an investigation to know the NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. We need to defund the NYPD. Then he says Mamdani, he doesn't want cops to respond to domestic disputes. Half the murders in New York City are because of domestic incidents, and he doesn't want the police there because they have guns and they're going to escalate it. He also doesn't want homeless who are committing crimes on the subway approach because the police have guns and they're going to escalate it. And in April 2025, Mamdani unveiled a safety subway plan that would turn retail spaces in the subways into mental health clinics and long-term care facilities and basically make the subways a homeless shelter. And, instead of letting New Yorkers enjoy the quality of life, he also suggested giving your assailant on the subway a chance to reconsider their behavior. And you could distract them by spilling your soda and say to them, hey, didn't I go to high school with you? He also said defund and dismantle the jails and prisons because they're public health hazards. He also said defunding the police is a feminist issue. Queer liberation means defund the police. And then he goes and he passes this thing. He hands out a resource guide, New York City, to handle street violence that does not include the numbers 911, Emily. It's the wild, wild west under this guy.
Yo, it's crazy. The wild, wild west is exactly right, man. You're going to destroy New York City, and it will never recover after that.
And what's the alternative? Eric Adams?
Well, yeah, Eric Adams. Well, we got some recent poll numbers. Let's pull up these poll numbers for the city. So we have Mamdani at 35%. We got Andrew Cuomo at 29%, Curtis Sliwa at 16%, and Eric Adams at 14%. I mean, yo, we gotta start doing something, man. That's not a good look. I would rather have Curtis Sliwa over Eric Adams any day. And I just don't think he's got the steam and money behind him to push him past Cuomo and Mamdani.
Well, I can't even believe that Cuomo is in the mix. He shouldn't be.
I know. He should be in jail for killing tens of thousands of senior citizens in the nursing homes with his executive order to the hospitals.
Forcing nursing homes to take COVID-diagnosed patients.
Yes, disgusting. We still, we're still chipping away at the
killing thousands of senior citizens.
Eugenics operation carried out right before our eyes. And what
are you going to re-elect a guy? Reward him for killing more seniors than anybody else in the country.
I think they really like the stickers on the floor because it kind of gave them a sense of direction. When you have to go shopping, you got to go, I gotta go up this way and down the other way. Man, these people are nuts.
They are.
But we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back, and we're going to start discussing the war in Gaza with Israel, and we're going to get to the meat and potatoes. Let's go!
Corrupt judges, broken families, families torn apart. This is injustice. If you've been wronged by the system, join us. Don't stand alone. Hi, I'm Gary Jacobs, president of Americans for Legal Reform. We're the oldest legal reform group in the United States. The justice system in the United States should be transparent, fair, and open to everybody and accessible. Unfortunately, many times that's not the case. At Americans for Legal Reform, we are here to help. Join the movement. Visit AmericansForLegalReform.com and help reform the system before it fails you.
My name is Eleanor Michelangelo. Please www.michelangelo.ca.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
It's Tuesday here at the America First Warehouse. I am Joe the Box.
And I'm John the Blanket.
Freddie Rubino here from the America First Warehouse, coming to you live, the most patriotic venue in the land.
Welcome to Right for America.
I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve? Fighting!
Welcome to Tune In Tuesday of the Patriots Podcast, live streaming every Tuesday night at 7:30.
Another edition of On the Right Side here, and you can catch us weekly, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
And welcome to Liberty's Cage, where we rip the veil off America's broken justice system. Prisons that crush spirits, courts that bend to power, and a society that shuns people who have paid their price.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kevin Downey Jr. Podcast. Be free, stay free.
All right. We are back at the America First Warehouse. Yeah.
The most patriotic venue in all the land.
That's right. You know, we'll never find a place like this anywhere. Make sure you get your tickets at the AmericaFirstWarehouse.com and check for events because we have a lot of stuff going on. And yeah, man. So I'm very, very sick of this whole war thing with Israel, Gaza, this whole conflict, and it's just getting out of control. And you know, the more I look into it, the more disgusted I get. And it has to stop. And there's certain things that need to come to the light. And I think we're going to expose them today.
Well, I've never seen a Hamas fighter. Yet. I've heard stories of children being sniped, and I think 45 doctors for the Doctors Across Borders or whatever wrote letters that they witnessed sniper wounds on children, and it was repeated over and over when they go to receive humanitarian aid, they're being sniped.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I found a video of, now it's not me saying it, this is a professional military person, all right? He's Special Forces Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Aguilar, and he spent a little time in Gaza, and let's get into what he saw with his boots on the ground.
IDF killing civilians. The soldier is Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Aguilar, a Special Forces veteran of the U.S. Army's Green Berets. He's in Washington. I spoke to him from a spot just near the Gaza border.
I witnessed the Israeli Defense Forces shooting at the crowds of Palestinians. I witnessed the Israeli Defense Forces firing a main gun tank round from the Merkava tank into a crowd of people, destroying a car of civilians that were simply driving away from the site. I witnessed mortar rounds being fired at the crowds of people to keep them controlled.
As a professional soldier with a very long career, what was your professional opinion of what was happening?
My professional opinion of how the sites were established was what I would describe as amateur. Inexperienced, untrained, no idea of how to conduct operations of this magnitude. That would be my most benign assessment. In my most frank assessment, I would say that they're criminal. In my entire career, have I never witnessed the level of brutality and use of indiscriminate and unnecessary force against a civilian population, an unarmed, starving population. I've never witnessed that in all of the places I've been deployed to war until I was in Gaza at the hands of the IDF and U.S. contractors.
Based on the knowledge you have, do you think that you were a witness then to war crimes? I think you're saying that very emphatically.
Without question, I witnessed war crimes. I witnessed war crimes being held by the Israeli Defense Forces, without a doubt, using artillery rounds, mortar rounds, firing tank rounds into unarmed civilians is a war crime.
People can resist hunger for a long time, but in the end, their strength ebbs away and deaths can rise exponentially. And that is what seems to be happening now.
Look at these
in
lines
Gaza.
Of people waiting for
Israel
food.
insists its forces have not targeted civilians. Now we have
And they're probably
eyewitness
waiting out there for
testimony
days.
to add to the considerable evidence that they've done so as a matter of routine. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News, Jerusalem.
So, yeah, so to target people waiting online for food and kids and all this stuff, and I have the pictures. I'm not going to pull them up because they're so graphic that they'll probably just delete this account.
They make women cry.
Yeah, it's really messed up, man. It's really messed up. And
we expected Donald Trump to be able to end this this genocide, but
it's a lot bigger than Trump. That's the problem.
Well, I think that Trump needs to just threaten disassociating himself with that regime, and that would probably stop the crisis.
Yeah, and on both sides, war crimes are horrific, right? And, we heard the stories of Hamas, and they're raping women and doing all this other stuff.
I've never seen a Hamas fighter. I've still yet to see Hamas. Have you? Have you once
I've seen the guys running around with green headbands on.
Have you ever seen a resistance against Israeli forces?
No, I mean, look.
I haven't seen one.
I haven't seen the videos the way to things that they're describing. I see the videos that, could be a false
like the ambulance that was buried with all the people in it. Remember that one?
Yep. It's crazy.
That was like a month ago where...
If this is a religious war, right, there's got to be some type of moral standard. And I found this guy today, and he actually reads the Talmud and or the Talmud, however you want to explain it. But let's watch this clip on some of the stuff that's in there that pertains to war and what they could do with non-Jewish women.
Have you seen what's been going on over there in Gaza? A lot of the stories of soldiers doing less than ethical things to prisoners. What's the basis for that? Is it here in the Holy Bible? No, it's not. Especially because we're in the New Testament now. We're not in the Old Testament anymore. God is not dealing with the nation of Israel as a holy nation. Anybody can see that one. They're far from holy. But where did they get this thing from that they have a right to perversion with prisoners of war? Let me show you where they get it. It's from the Talmud. Okay? Right here we have it.
He's got the book.
Let me show it to
you. Came with the receipts.
Overhead camera. Here you go. There you go. Page 132. Right down there.
Hey, man, I didn't say it. It's in their book.
Check this out. But surely there is the allowance concerning a beautiful woman, a non-Jewish female prisoner of war. The Torah allows a Jewish soldier to take such a woman. No, it doesn't. According to some authorities, a Jew may engage in sexual relations with her during wartime. Uh-oh, wait a second. It says up here the Torah allows this. But then down here it says some authorities. Well, wait. If it's the Torah, if it's the Old Testament, the first 5 books of Moses, then why would it say some authorities? Doesn't make any sense. The Talmud overthrows the Scriptures. The Scriptures do not allow this. All right? It's talking about the one place in Scripture it talks about the tribe of Benjamin, that they can go to Shiloh, and if they see young girls dancing, they can go and take them and make them into their wives. But it is not saying just anybody out in warfare, anywhere you are, you can do it anytime you want to. It's not what the Bible teaches. All right? The tribe of Benjamin was having hard times with, populating, being repopulated after God judged them. So they needed wives, and nobody wanted to give them wives, and that's why that was done. All right? And I'm not saying God was even for that. I'm saying that's why they did it. But it says here, sexual relations with her during wartime. So you can have relations with a non-Jewish female prisoner of war during times of war. Emergency war powers, sound familiar? And according to others, to convert and marry her as a, quote, concession to the evil inclination. Huh?
What?
You can have a concession to the evil inclination? You're giving into your evil lusts? That's what they're saying here. Because your rabbi said it's okay. Your Talmudic rabbi said it's okay. This allowance is limited to Jews, but non-Jews are forbidden to take a woman in war because of their prohibition against robbery. Jews aren't prohibited against robbery. We'll see that here in a minute. As was explained earlier in the chapter 57a, thus we see that there can be something permitted to a Jew but forbidden to a non-Jew. Little interesting there. The Gemara answers, they're the reason that a Jew is allowed to take a woman in war and a non-Jew is not allowed to do so is that non-Jews are not fit for wars of conquest. Okay, God shall enlarge Japheth. I think that's a prophecy of white Japhetic races being very good with wars of conquest, which history proves. Jews were commanded to conquer the land of Israel, but the other nations were not commanded to conquer lands. Really? Where does the Bible say that? Where does the Scriptures say that non-Jews are not allowed to conquer? Where does it say that? Just making stuff up. They're lying. Since the allowance regarding a woman of beautiful appearance was only given in the context of a war of conquest, it could only have been given to Jews and not to non-Jews. Okay? Okay. We just read this. I didn't make that up. That's
out the book,
Talmud
man.
says right there. So if there's a non-Jew girl and she's over there in Israel or something, she's in Gaza, and the Talmudic Jews get her and whatever, and again, they're not all Talmudists. All right, this is a really radical sect of satanic people that follow the Talmud. But if they're a practitioner of the Talmud, they see a beautiful girl that's a non-Jew and they say, I have to give in to my evil inclination here. Yeah. But now let's look about the thing of them stealing. Robbery is good for Jews, but not for non-Jews. Hello, Wall Street.
All right. Here we go with the banks.
It says here, but surely there is robbery less than the value of peruta, I guess is how you say it, which is permitted to a Jew, but forbidden to a non-Jew. A Jew is, in other words, is permitted to steal if it's less than the value of a peruta, whatever that is.
I don't know what a peruta is.
Jews are ready to waive less than a peruta, and so for them the act of stealing such a small amount is not regarded as robbery. But non-Jews are not ready to waive even the most minute amount, and so for them robbery of less than the value of a peruta is forbidden. So little Mordecai there, you're going through the store, you see a little stick of gum, a little bit something, it's not much, maybe less than $1, maybe less than $5.
So a peruta is 0.025 grams of pure silver.
It's not robbery, unless you see a non-Jew boy do it. The Denlinger kid, yeah, he's white and things, so you see him, you cry out, he's a thief, oh, arrest him, oh, he's a non-Jew, he's stealing less than the value of a peruta, whatever that is. And these are God's people. These are the people that have a right to reject Jesus Christ. Huh?
So anything between $1 and $5
and all
they
this
could
other
steal.
stuff. And yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, I get it. So that's going to be it for this one. Stealing is stealing. I don't care what the value of it is. If you're taking something that does not belong to you and not leaving adequate remuneration, that is theft. All right? Period. That's the way it works. And you will answer to God for it. Both non-Jews and Jews. Okay? Don't forget that.
That's right. So there's a little insight into that world. And when we come back, we're going to have one more little piece on that. And then we're going to jump into the next round of subjects. And it's going to be explosive. Make sure you share this out. Get it out. Let's beat this algorithm. They will not stop us. And I'll see you on the other side of this commercial break.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com.
Good morning. It's me, Joe the Box, wearing my Border 911 hat signed by Tom Holman, Rodney Scott, and Sarah Carter. The country has had enough. The American Horror Story is over. Border 911. Tom Holman is coming through. My brother's son, my friends' children. We're done with it. 100,000 were lost lives every single year. God bless you, Tom.
The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Welcome back to the America First Warehouse. I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here fighting all the time. And we're going to jump back into the Israel-Gaza thing. I found a clip of a rabbi. He's acting kind of boastful. And we're going to see what he's talking about. Let's roll it.
Far-off land is going to come and go after the Western allies. Westerners are fighting. And they're going back and forth. And then this far-off country comes and Edom falls to them. They lose. The Western countries lose this war. Yeah.
Like they lost in Vietnam.
No, very much not like that. Because it's all their armies, everybody, their whole sovereignty. Their sovereignty is going to be gone. They will no longer be a superpower. God's going to come and save these China, whoever it is, and wipe out the Christian countries. Why?
See that? Wipe out the Christian countries with an evil smirk. Look how happy he is.
While you were all rooting for the West this whole time, you forgot about the fact that they have major debt to pay. And that is, they destroyed the base of Mingdas.
And China never touched it.
Right, they don't even know what it is. And not only because they destroyed base of Mingdas, you ready for this? Think about the Holocaust now and all the pogroms and all the what were those called, crusades, wiping out whole cities of Jews. The Hitzarul, the Israel Begullus, and they caused pain to the Jewish people in their exile. Meaning they persecuted. Hitzarul persecuted. Meaning they're going to get killed in the end, because God is going to go on the side of probably China, wipe out the whole West. Why? Because of the destruction of the Second Temple, which is still a debt they never paid. And because of the persecution. I mean, all that persecution that just come through is still a bill. It's still a bill that has to get paid by the West. There's a pasuk that says that there's going to be a slaughtering for God. In Basra, Basra is a capital of part of Rome, like a big city of Rome. And this is going to be God's avenging. This is going to be God's korban, God's sacrifice, slaughter.
Is Basra the city in Iraq?
Yeah, also. But here it says Shibaroimi. God comes to the aid of China and wipes out all the Western countries. America, everyone's going.
All right, so let me get this straight. So the rabbis and the Jewish people are getting behind China, and they're gleefully expecting the annihilation of the United States and the West. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And then you got the news going on, crying and begging for all the support. Meanwhile, the people that we are supporting killed Christ. How does that work?
I don't know.
How does that work? They murdered Jesus, right? And Jesus was in the temples flipping tables because they were the money changers of the time, manipulating the money and stealing the sovereignty from people. And right out of the guy's own mouth, he goes, "We're going to take their sovereignty. Ha ha! The West is going to die. Ha! This is our redemption from them taking down the Second Temple." What are you talking about? So. All right, if we're going to put things in perspective here, all right, who are the real godly people, right? The ones that want to get along with everybody, Christians, love thy neighbor and do what's right, right? Or, let's see, rape the women in war and steal their money, corrupt
shoot the
their
children
kids.
when they go to get the food, the humanitarian aid. They shoot them, they sniper them.
Yeah, and then they go, "Oh, no, don't talk bad about us."
They killed everyone in the ambulance and got caught burying them.
Yeah, so when is enough enough? When are you people going to actually wake up and see that what's going on right now is a genocide and it's got to stop?
And this has nothing against Jewish people. It has to do with the actions of the Israeli
A lot of my great
IDF.
friends are Jewish, right? And they have no idea this is going on in the background. They have no idea,
Nobody knows.
They support their Jewish heritage, but at the end of the day, they have no idea the background history or what the hell the Kabbalah magic system and they have all these rituals that that go hand in hand with Freemasonry, and it makes no sense. Like, how could you not want to?
But what we're talking about is just basically the treatment of the women and children in Gaza. They're being sniped. They're being starved to death. Our president promised us peace, and we have not gotten it.
Not
one
gotten
bit.
peace
Matter
at
of fact,
all.
we've seen nothing but compliance. That he's willing to do anything that they ask.
Well, Tucker Carlson seems to think that our government is being controlled by interdimensional or
let's see.
spiritual
You got it?
entities. Yeah, I got a clip. Let's throw Tucker on real quick.
The main thing they want you to believe is the supernatural is not real. Their main interest is in convincing you that the supernatural is not real. Why has that been so important for 80 years? For you to convince me the supernatural is not real. Why do you care if I think the supernatural is real? But then you have to ask motive. Like, it's not a profit motive. Like, does it make them rich to deny that there's supernatural forces? No. What is that? And I don't know the answer. But the obvious answer is, well, because they sort of know they're working for supernatural forces, actually. But that they take physical form, that they're not just like some ethereal, they're not just shadows floating around, specters, fog, that they're physical. Like, they're as real as the arm of your chair. People are subject to the supernatural, so they do things that are not natural.
Yeah.
Like kill themselves. That's why we're the only species that kills itself.
Yeah.
Right? So when you kill yourself, whether slowly or all at once, you're being acted on by forces outside of you. Spiritual forces, obviously. I'm just trying to apply logic here.
Exactly. So there's something going on within the evil people of the planet, and they're all sharing the same energy, and that's what he's kind of talking about. And a lot of secret societies that harness that energy leave their symbolism right in plain sight, so you can kind of like subconsciously get used to it, and it's pretty crazy. But let's roll this next clip, and we're going to show you the Masonic symbolism that they used to put in the old movies. Yeah. We grew up watching these movies. This goes all the way back to the 80s. Watch.
With your hands up. Door left, boss.
Closet clear.
Let me see your hands. Anyone else in here?
Coming around.
Anyone else in here? Kids in...
These are different movies, guys. Look at that. Compass and square, the Masonic emblem in the background of the movie. What the hell they got that for?
Crafted in tribute to our
Cartoons.
beloved royal family. Victoria's bust wrought in porcelain.
This was in 2006.
It's as if you were here.
There's a Masonic ring. There's the little hand symbol. If you look up the Masonic hand symbols. Movie from 1981. Now you got to remember, you don't get in the club unless you go through these rituals. It's a tool of control. Here you go, 1980.
Down your weapons!
45 years ago, guys.
Was that like Flash Gordon or something?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep. Double Masonic sign.
Yes. But don't fill him with anything above level 3.
I don't care if you're a low-level Mason and you don't know, you don't understand the full aspect of what it leads into. But hey, man, this is what it is. This is what controls society: the politicians, the movie stars, the athletes, everything. Look at Shaq.
What about Shaq?
Shaq was a 33rd degree Mason.
Everyone talking about hard rain.
There you go. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. 85.
Barter towns learn. Now when men get to fighting, it happens here. And it finishes here. Two men enter.
Now this is a fictitious movie.
Man leaves.
But check this out. What's that glowing on his neck? Oh, it's another Masonic symbol. Wow. Here's another movie. Came out in 2000.
As long as the contractionary British fiscal policy continues.
Wow. Well, I can see we don't need any time to get acclimated.
Pretty girl.
Oh, that's Rita, the office manager.
Oh, what do we got here? Oh my God, another one. So this has been embedded in movies and films and pictures all over the place, and we didn't even see it because we weren't looking for that. So basically, symbolism is going to be these people's downfall. And the next person that's been all over the news is Sydney Sweeney, right? You see this? The
No,
whole
I
thing?
have not seen it.
So she did American Eagle, right? They had her come do an ad, and they put a video out, and they made like a comment in it. Oh, she's got good genes, talking about the pants.
Is she a squirter?
It's quite possible. You never know. But so they had that. They made the comment. They went nuts on it, and now all of a sudden she's like blasted onto the front page of everything. She's like the topic of every conversation. This whole Sweeney thing. Let's pull up a picture of her giving her allegiance to her creators. You know what I mean? So, like I said, if you want to get in the club, you got to show allegiance, and that's what they do. I got another picture. Let's pull that one up with more symbolism. Yeah, it should be 9.1. No, not in there. All right, so I'm sure a lot of you already saw it already with all the different celebrities posing with one eye, the finger on the lips, doing the 666 sign, and you know, the cross section and everything. So that's what they're in, man. That's what they're into. So I don't know what to tell you. We have asset 10. Could it be asset 10? Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah. So we got about 50 seconds on here. But listen, man, the people that you look at as icons aren't icons, all right? They shut up, they play their part, and they're quiet, and they participate in some of the most disgusting things you could imagine. I'm not going to say it's all athletes, all the celebrities, but the A-list people that you see walking down the red carpets and are given icon status amongst the media, those are the people that you know, you need to look out for. And especially the young girls in Disney films and stuff like that. Like they have this Descendants movie. Everyone's obsessed with it, all the little girls. And it's Descendants. And if you start looking at the story, it's like people that are like descended into hell. And it's the daughters of the people. It's like the kids of the demon. So it's you can't escape this shit. You just have to give your kids the eyes to see. And we'll be back right after this break.
Who broke the television?
Can we laugh at that? Sounds a little mean.
As of this week, public gay sex will now be mandatory.
Am I the only one that see his lips move?
Cheekbones, baby.
I'm sorry, maybe I overreacted.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Welcome, everybody, to the Not So Newlywed Show, where three couples are going to compete for really great prizes. Okay, Donna, we asked Mike, who complained first on your honeymoon, you or him?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he said.
Lisa, this ain't the SATs. Just tell us what. Donna, who complained first on the honeymoon?
I'm sure it was me, but I have no idea.
Donna is right.
No, it's always me.
What celebrity would you pick for a one-day pass?
For me?
Yeah, for you, not for him.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon! Wow! Who do you hate the most on her side? That rotten no.
There are so many choices.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming out.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
And we are back at the America First Warehouse. What's up, everybody? We're getting into the last segment. Make sure you share this out. We need you guys because we are heavily shadow banned because of the truth we speak and the things that we put on air. So get this out so we can get past the algorithm and things will be just fine. Make sure you tune into all the podcasts on the AmericaFirstWarehouse.com every Tuesday. And let's jump back into some more masonry and the Kabbalah and how it ties together. Run it!
In this very book, he says that Freemasonry is based almost totally on the Kabbalah.
Yes.
Jewish magic.
Yes.
And many Jewish rabbis have admitted this, and they say that in all of the rituals of Freemasonry, you will find the Kabbalah, the system of magic of the Jews. For example, the 30th degree of Freemasonry is the Knights of Kadosh.
Yes.
And it involves skulls and black robes and a knight laying in a coffin speaking from the dead.
Yes.
And all of this turning to the god of the underworld, the gods of the underworld, is all related to Jewish Kabbalah because they believe in necromancy, communication with the dead. And they believe that in the last days, a Kabbalistic master will come upon the earth and there will be a Jewish utopia, a new world order of the Jews. But they must go along with what are called the Noahide laws and be good Gentiles and go along with Kabbalah. And if they recognize that the Holy Spirit is the serpent. And by the way, that's also taught in the 32nd degree of Freemasonry that is, the serpent is the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And he is going to encircle the earth.
Whoa, man. Who would have known? That's crazy, right?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
Oh, my God. You have to catch the rerun later. But, yeah, man. So all of this stuff that we've been playing over the past, I don't know, half hour, all ties into one thing, all right? It ties into power and control. And a big part of the power control is blackmail. Now, sad to say, but the leading number one blackmail thing is children. And, hey, man, like, I'm going to show you a video that...
That's why they say our government is caving to this... supplying more and more funds to Israel during this genocide is because Epstein Island was a Mossad intelligence operation.
Yeah, 100%.
And 90% of our controlling power here in the United States visited Epstein Island.
Yeah. And we got to save these kids. There's too many kids, man. 800,000 kids a year go missing. 800,000, which is mind-blowing. But let's play this little video I put together, and, hey, man, get to know the reality that we live in. Let's run it. A lot of this stuff takes place underground. They have breeding facilities where these kids have no birth certificates. Kids of all ages, man. Boys, girls. It's just heartbreaking. This girl had her arms chopped off. Found in a dirty, dirty house. Bodies found starving. These are all trafficking victims. All young kids. Operation under the ground where there's tunnel systems. That's called panda eyes, guys. That's when a kid gets sodomized so bad that it busts the blood vessels around their eye sockets. It's disgusting. I hope this burns into your soul because there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse that we should be letting this happen. And if you don't know what the armor of God is, I suggest you look it up and wear it all. And then we need to put a death penalty to anybody that abuses a child. You got somebody's foot just sitting there that took the picture. Kid hogtied on the bed. So it's going to take a huge operation to get this done, guys. So start paying attention, turn off the TV, stop watching Netflix, and get involved in a fight that is really worth something. Because this is the future at stake. And if we just sit back and do nothing, then your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren could be victims in this disgusting pedophile ring that needs to be chopped down and destroyed worldwide, not just here. These are all different articles where they busted up pedophile rings. But that's why Joe Biden, it was such a big deal to open the borders, because a lot of the kids that got trafficked, you know, they disappear. Once they get into the country, they're loaded into a van. There's no documentation. There's no birth certificate. There's nothing. Look at this, man.
Protect the victims of this form of modern-day slavery here in the United States and all around the world. My administration is 100% committed to eradicating human trafficking from the earth.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what Trump said he's going to do, and that's what the patriots of this nation need to do. Eradicate human trafficking off of the earth, because that has no place here. It's not godly. And, you know, the Bible tells us to stand up for those who are weak. And that's exactly what we need to be doing. So anybody that's still out there on the fence and, you know, you want to sit home, I understand people work and have jobs, right? We all have jobs, and somehow we make it together and to be on the front lines.
That's the biggest excuse Americans have is, oh, I have work.
Yeah, well, there's no excuse at all. So I still work a 9 to 5, right? Because I can't make money on YouTube or any of these things because they demonetize me for what I talk about, and I don't care because I never was in this for the money. I'd rather save lives than make dollars, right? I don't care about the money. I'd be happy in a cardboard box knowing that I saved tens of thousands of lives, right? And that's what it's all about. And the only way we get there is through information, because knowledge is power, and they completely strip the power from the population and the world with these secret societies, with the knowledge that they suppressed from us. So enough is enough. The Great Awakening is here, and there's a spiritual renaissance that's taking place right now, because Jesus is coming back, and he's bringing his sword.
Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention to your surroundings. Look up. See if your skies are geoengineered.
Exactly.
Sense whether or not your headache is natural.
Yep. Yeah, man. And another thing we got to do is take down these damn 5G towers, man. They promised us lightning speed downloads and all this other stuff.
We've got terrible service.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke the whole time. The 5Gs.
It was scammed.
Yeah, it's a weapon system. It's a military-grade weapon system.
See what happens to birds that fly near the 5G towers. They get fried. They die.
Yeah. And the
Birds can't fly near them. Trees can't grow near them. We know.
Exactly. And it's the same thing with HAARP when they're causing all these earthquakes around. The telltale signs that HAARP was involved in an earthquake is the whales beaching themselves. Right? You have a lot of animals beaching themselves, especially the ones that use echo sonar. All right? The reason why they're beaching themselves is because the vibration and frequency that is being emitted into the ocean to cause these volcanoes underneath the ocean is so high that it's making the whales' eardrums burst and bleed, and they can't take the sound, so they're trying to get the hell out of the water because they don't know where else to go. So they're beaching themselves. And this has been going on for years, ever since people started watching HAARP. And every time these things go active, there's massive amounts of marine life beaching itself to get out of the water.
Ecological catastrophes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But they don't care.
No.
They just want to see if they can cause another earthquake.
Exactly. So I have another asset here, clip 14. Do we have that in the stash somewhere? Little motivational speech. Yeah, run this guy on real quick, man. He's got some words of wisdom.
Chosen ones never blend in.
Your spirit knows you were never ordinary. While others were being formed, you were being forged. While they got blessings, you got battles. While they got platforms, you were in despair. But here's the secret hell doesn't want you to know. Your despair was never punishment. It was preparation. Because chosen ones aren't put on display. They're put through the fire. Because those who survive the furnace can carry the flame. There is a reason the enemy fucked with your mind. Why betrayal hits you harder than most. Why you're tired yet unbroken. Crushed but never destroyed. For you were chosen, not by man, not by even religion, bloodline, or birthright, but by a God who whispered your name before you were born. There is something embedded in you that hell can't delete. A divine code that screams untouchable. Because God was protecting what he hadn't unleashed yet. But now it's your turn.
Exactly. Now it's your turn. I found him on TikTok. I was scrolling through and I was like, oh man, this guy, I couldn't have said it better myself. So I like putting out words of motivation. I do that a lot on my platforms. And this guy just hit the nail on the head. So I said, you know what? He made it to my show this week. So it was pretty awesome, man. So everybody has to realize how powerful we are as a collective. I always tell people, if you go outside, it doesn't matter how pissed off you get, how angry you are. If you try to flip a car over by yourself, it's never going to happen. You're going to pull your back and you're going to end up in a hospital weaker than you were before. So what I recommend is everybody stick together and rise up, man. Rise up, because now's the time. So if 15 people share the same idea of flipping a car over, whatever the cause is, the car is getting flipped and rolled wherever you want it. And you can relocate and construct anything we want as a collective species. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, you know?
Yeah, but don't be afraid as an individual to stand up. I'm a prime example of somebody that stood up for something and was successful, and then we see what Angelo was able to do in Albany.
Yeah.
So, and he was an individual person that just gathered signatures. So, I mean, I would not discourage anybody from standing up and taking on a cause that's dear to your heart.
Exactly. Be strong. Be courageous. All my men out there, put your balls back on, because you're going to need them, right? And all the women out there, kick your men in the balls. Make them more active, man. That's that's how you got to do it. But we're running out of time for this episode. We're going to see you back for episode 43. And, yeah, man, stay strong, stay informed. I'm James Justice.
All glory be to God.
All glory be to God.